So this guy walks into a knife maker's shed, workshop. Probably a bit flashier than this one, but anyway, says to the guy, look, I'd like a knife. The knife maker says, well, come to the right place. So he says, what sort of knife do you want? And he says, well, I'd like a small kind of drop point or spear point hunter style knife. I want it to be 01 tool steel, about 4mm thick. I want to be able to batten with it, you see, drive the knife through bits of wood, which it's really using an axe for, but anyway, that's what he wanted. Then he said, well, I'd like it to be roughly about 8 inches long, so, sort of 4-inch blade, a little bit longer maybe, 4-inch handle, pretty even. The handle, ideally, I'd like to be sort of a camel bone or something like that I can put down and find again in the grass, sort of thing. Anything else? Yeah. The sheath. I want the sheath to be leather. I want it to be able to handle having like a fire steel clipped onto it. I'd also like it to be able to be worn on the belt, but occasionally taken off the belt when the climate is particularly cold, and worn sort of on a strap, so that I can get at it without having to, take the jacket off and get all cold and stuff. So, sort of really specific. I want it to have a fairly sharp point, like a spear point or something like that, so that I can use it for sort of gouging into wood. Kind of that's mostly it. Oh, final point. I like it to have a Scandinavian grind. Knife maker scratches his head. He says, well, I can give you some of those things, but I don't have all of those things. There's not much call for Scandinavian grinds around here. And the guy said, well, I kind of like that because it makes it easy to sharpen. Anyway, off he goes. He makes his order, but the guy gives him a knife in the interim and says, try this. This is similar to some things you're asking for. So, gave him the knife take away. So I took it away, brought it back a week later and said, look, this is good, but doesn't have the Scandinavian grind and it's not really what I was after. So the knife maker says, well, I'll make you what you asked for. So, he comes back about a week later and the knife's been made. It's got all these things. It's 01 tool steel. It's 4mm thick. It's got a full tan construction with a bone handle, 2 brass pins, a lanyard hole. It's 4mm thick, which can handle a bit of abuse, not too much. Spear point, 4 and 4, so 8 inches overall, and it's got a Scandinavian grind. So the guy's happy. Sheath is what he asked for. Clip it on the belt, or you can take it away and strap it to a strap and sort of wear it over the jacket with the weather's inclement. So it's kind of take this way and test it. I said, yeah, sure, take it away. Anyway, he brings it back about a week later and he's ecstatic. This is exactly what I was looking for. This is perfect. The knife makes this one. Glad you like it. Yep. And the customer says, yep, definitely. Can I get 10 more? So the knife maker, whose name's Alan, says, yes, yeah, I can do that. I can make 10 more. The customer, Ray, says, well, that's fantastic. Now, I want to give them to people as I travel about and do the show that we're working on. So Alan Wood makes them the knives, and Ray Mears takes away the knife and uses it and shows it on TV, and it becomes super popular. I mean, everyone wants one. They decided to call the knife the Woodlaw, and Alan Wood got so many orders for it that he basically could have just retired at that point and made nothing but those knives, and to be making them today. He's actually stopped making them now. He's discontinued them, but he did make them for quite a while. But he also wanted to make other knives. He wasn't just just a one-trick pony sort of thing. He wanted to make a lot. So anyway, he ended up hiring a few other people to make the knives for him. Cox, he made them, and there's a few other people who been sworn to secrecy, but they made the knives as well, and they all put the stamp on them. Some of them had slightly different stamps. Some of them said, you know, made for, by, and others just used the same stamp. Anyway, the knife now, like I said, doesn't make them anymore, but if you can get one, they're about £500, so a good $1,000. Yeah, sort of about still making a few, but closest books, so about a 10-12 year wait. Now, customers, of course, said, I'm not paying 500 quid, and I'm not waiting that long, so they went to other knife makers and said, can you make this? And they said, well, I can't make exactly that. I certainly can't put that name on it, but I can make you something similar. So, they did, and it became quite copied. But, you know, everyone makes them slightly different. There's a slight twist on them. And then a few people kind of were annoyed about the price of them and the wait time, and decided to make their own, and did a very good job of it, I must say. And now, of course, they started making more, and now some of those knife makers are kind of, all their business is making not clones, but not really copy, I don't know, versions, might be a nice way of saying it, things that touch on those. And yeah, this is my take on one. Actually, it's not exactly the same, but heavily influenced. So Scandinavian grind, 4mm thick 01 tool steel. The handle is U, green liners. I think I'll probably do a Kydex sheath. Oh, the spine, 9-degree spine. So he wanted a spine that you could use to scrape. I use it as almost like a second knife blade. That 60-year-old seasoned Remo, but you might be able to see the stuff coming off there. And of course, Scandinavian grind is something that, you know, is great for cutting into wood. So this is my take, not finished. Not going to be sold as a copy, but just sold as something in the same vein. Intended so that us mortals who don't have sort of 10 years and £500 sitting around can have a good, handy, usable knife. It's just, I'm not really convinced myself that the Scandinavian grind is the best option. Not for New Zealand conditions, the wood's kind of different. Popular in Scandinavia, of course, but we're not in Scandinavia. But there you go, my take on a popular knife, and see how it turns out. Cheers.